I'm Dan Sherfield, your not-so-British host of Basecamp TV, where we're walking through the events that happened before Easter in our series, Before Easter. Can I get some dramatic lighting or just something on my face, something around, yeah, like this, I guess that's the best you can do. In our last few episodes, we've learned about Jesus' prayer for unity for all his followers, his betrayal by his friend Judas, and his so-called trial before the Jewish leaders where Jesus revealed that he is the Son of God. How did those leaders respond, you ask? By calling him a
liar, he's on fire.
So what happens next? Well, you won't have to wait long because we've got an awesome lineup of hosts ready to spill the tea, as they say, and help us understand why these stories matter. So what are we waiting for? Let's get the story forecast and find out whether or not.
Breaking news. Breaking news here in the Basecamp TV studio. Join us live on location for Whether or Not.
I'm your forecaster, Walter, and today in John chapter 18, the sun is just starting to rise after a long, dark night for Jesus and his followers. Well, that's not right. We're anticipating a change in the wind today as Jesus changes hands from the Jewish leaders to the Roman rulers who control the area. No, that's not a ruler like a king. Anyway, there are some extreme weather events on the horizon, including the sun going dark in the middle of the day and the earth shaking. But first, Jesus is going to be questioned by the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. And that's the story forecast. Let's move on to the action with a note from the opera.
From the opera. He's lying and he must die. The Jewish leaders take Jesus to see the man who can sentence him to death. Pontius Pilate. But Pilate could find no reason to judge Jesus as a criminal, so he had Jesus beaten and tried to send him back to the Jews, but they said he must die because he claimed to be the Son of God. Pilate was afraid. He asked Jesus, "Who are you and where are you from?" But Jesus was silent. Pilate demanded, "Don't you realize I have the power? I can free you, or I can have you crucified." But Jesus knew where real power was. He told Pilate, "You would have no power over me if it were not given to you." Pilate knew something was different about Jesus. He tried to free him, but the crowds were screaming, "Crucify him! He's not our king!" And finally, Pilate gave in. "Take him away and crucify him." Thank you. And now, let us go to the garden. Basecamp TV Garden.
Hey folks, I'm Doris. Now, the story we're talking about today is a really sad one. But there's more to uncover here. And that's why we're here in the Basecamp TV garden. Now, you see this guy?
What is that? It looks disgusting. Ugh.
It's a flower.
Are you sure that's a flower?
I think it might be dead.
Okay, I know it doesn't look like much, but you just hang in there with me and you'll see. I've got my planter box here with some soil, and we're gonna start by digging a hole. Nice little hole there, little home for it. Great. And now we're gonna cover it up with some nice soil. Perfect. And now we wait. It might not look like anything is going on there, but under the surface, something beautiful is beginning. Look how beautiful. Those bulbs are gonna turn into these beautiful Easter lilies. The flower that's a symbol of new life is also a symbol for the story we heard today. Pontius Pilate thought he had the power over Jesus, but Jesus reminded him it was God who was in control. Pilate gave into the crowds and sent Jesus away to be whipped, beaten, laughed at, stripped naked, forced to carry a heavy cross, and then nailed to it and left hanging to die. And that whole time, it was God who was in control. The Roman rulers, the Jewish leaders, they thought that they had killed Jesus. But the truth is that Jesus chose to go through all of that for us. You know, Jesus once said, "No one takes my life from me. I give it up myself. I have the authority to give it up, and I have the authority to take it back again." John 10:18.
But why? Why would Jesus choose to die?
Because he loves us, God wants to be close to us. He made us to have a wonderful relationship with him. But our sin keeps us apart. We can't get rid of our sin on our own. And that's why we need Jesus. He traded our sin and darkness and death for his perfect life. The Bible tells us that the moment he died on the cross, the sky went dark and the earth shook. And something amazing happened in the temple too. The curtain that separated the people from God was ripped in two. The separation was gone. Now, they put Jesus' dead body in the tomb, and they covered the entrance, and they left him there, thinking it was the end. But what looked like a dark and awful ending was actually the beginning. In the book of Hebrews, it says that Jesus went through such suffering on the cross because he knew joy was coming. And part of that joy was knowing that we would get to live with him forever. Just like these lilies, though no one could see it, new life was about to break through, which brings us to the best story of all time. But for that, you'll have to tune in next time. We'll see you then.
And now it's time for the final word. Thank you. Can I get a drum roll, please? Because he loves us, Jesus gave up his life for us. The story of Jesus' crucifixion is a hard and painful story to hear. But for us, it's good news. This is Basecamp TV, and this has been our final episode of Before Easter, because you guessed it, Easter is coming next.